My dad just got back from getting the rest of the cinder blocks, so I'm gonna go down to where I put my beehive and set up my other Langstroth hive. Alright, it stopped raining about an hour ago, 30 minutes ago, so I came back down here. But I just want to talk about a little bit about what to look for in a bee yard when you're trying to look for a bee yard and where to put your bees and stuff. So I want to talk about that for a minute. So I have my bees down here at the pond we dug in April. So they have a good source of water, and I have them right here along this fence row in a little dip that comes down here. So that's one of the things, you need a windbreak for them. So sometimes when it storms and stuff, we have high winds. So down here, this is kind of like a valley. So there's two hills and it comes down here. So it doesn't get a lot of wind down here. And for added windbreak, there's this pasture right here comes down and it slopes down, so there's like a rock outcrop right here, right there, you can see it, and it's blocking most of the wind that comes through here, so that's a good windbreak. And then another thing that you need is a good water source. So if you have bees, or you're getting bees, and you live near a bunch of neighbors and stuff, you have to have a water source on your property for the bees, because if not, they'll go over to the neighbors and they'll get water. They'll find the nearest water source and that'll be their water source, and you do not want them to go over to your neighbors and to get water and stuff like that. So create a water source for them so they'll have a good thing. You need level ground to set your beehives on, because if you have your beehives on unstable ground, then they'll fall over and you'll lose bees. Your bee colonies will die out. So you need to have level ground to set them on. And this is a little, this is up higher above the pond, so it's like a hill and it comes up right here, and there's a bunch of level ground right here, so that's why I have mine right here. Another thing that you need for your bee yard is you need something to keep all your supplies and stuff in, like your hive tool, your smoker and stuff like that. You don't have to keep it in your bee yard, but it's just a lot more convenient if you have it down here. I have the bucket, well, I have my bucket that I keep my bee stuff in the RTV. I just brought it down here. And your beehives need to at least be 18 inches off the ground. That way skunks and possums and stuff can't get up there and like eat your honey and stuff. And another thing, if you live near bears, or like you live near predators that will try to knock down your beehive, you need to have them in a fenced-in enclosure or something like that, so they can't get to them. So you can run like electric wire or whatever. But I have mine in a fenced-in enclosure. My whole pond is in a fenced-in enclosure, so this is really a good spot. And we don't see many bears down here, so I don't think that will really be a problem. I just remembered, your hives always need to be facing towards east, so like where the sun comes up. That way when the sun comes up, the earliest light in the morning will hit the front of your hive, and your bees will already be working, so they'll work throughout the whole day. That way, if you have your hives facing let's say west, the sun won't hit the front of your hive until after midday, so they won't get, they'll still be up, but they won't get a lot done. So you really need your hives to be, the entrance of your hive to be facing east. It's getting ready to storm again, so I've got to hurry and get back up to the house, so I tried to rush this a little bit. So I think I have thought of names for the Bantam chicks that I got down here. This one is the rooster, the male, and his name is Oreo. So that's Oreo, and then his mate is Flurry. So we got Oreo and Flurry, but I gotta take them in because it's getting ready to storm, so say bye.